This is Boadu TV. Truth and integrity.
The justice system in our country is our biggest headache. I keep saying, obi di bone ne kwa kwache na MPP no MPP ni a na MPP for aba begina chire and that this is against our democratic rule nonsense. Na na kan yakwa kwache uni na wo se.
Enti jebi ne tie no na o se sisi judicial system no eno na aba be haye gidigidi ama headache. Ne ya na Kevin Tiller so ye jam say bench warrant omodato no so no justice chamber for the tone so 2020 no sisi ade se na aban abanti no wabaya ma Supreme Court 4-1 omoja no tizi de obetimi anam montin so ne yi and a man for the lawyers and judges na mudi asem no omo pictures akogu Facebook say mu keep you ho na asem ba say omo approve say Kevin Tiller betimi di ajeje for atem obetimi di asantofo na asante na atem I don't know. Ena National Cathedral so no president say mamo ye audit bi fa ho audit na ba ye say attorney auditor general so kwaye ne de mbra etini nyina ho nsem wo je bi na Ama Agyarko ena Ivan chi o fire da fa ho
To minor say but ne ma ne ye nwanwa kakra wo mu ne say aban bia ba be free so a the level of irregularities na ye experience that woman mu ha no ekosoro eti obehwa various reports are aba and the auditor's own general auditor's own reporter eba ye ekire say Ghana ya uncover about 8.79 billion Ghana cedis. The level of irregularities are now it means to say yeah the CFS can kokoto wachi ya fan koto wachi ne de kokoto gobe ya CFS can kokoshe ekwan mu ya fan kokoye kwan ene ye de kokoye ye de kotu borehole ena kan ye hu because borehole sika ene ekwan sika difference kakra wom ena wachi sika different from gobe sika into 600 na sefo ni na no Kwabnane say they can't account for those monies. Into Sikano, ahe. Yes, but Mama Mbisao, throughout the whole journey, I was starting to say yes and true. Now, who said from 1992, yes, the Auditor General had the report to the Aba financial irregularities. Kwabnane once na ben yet me a prosecutor
ABC da. ABC da.
It is Ghana near Ohoy na Danina, ahe. Into a cratifo, ye coscu yen, yes, say. Ye cosqua cosua yansa, yes, soon as 7 producer, yes, Jimmy. Yen ye bought my knee pa.
Na Mrs. Jebby, a double time crown podie. Send you see ye what na say. We all thought said, Nanko bet me a BB, I arrest be then so that time no Oluma Oluma bubu na preview more by force leave.
But you know, Dagon, you say the Auditor General do not have only who kind any to me say or prosecute you.
Of course.
It's your only the say or your report new year. And they must say, and they must say, and the woman. And ya bana sudie and a sudden na shed ya say about protecting the public purse to say that Ama Agyarko can no. Say, I shall and shall. In our constitution, shall, in our political dispensation, as we speak, Supreme Court have defined shall, say a and shall, and the man will be BS. Say, the moment you mention the word shall, not just say it is binding on you, say, I can't be so it's a way, and shall at the man. It is if somebody says that I shall protect the public purse, then it means to say the person has a very huge responsibility to say the Methodist book. You have a charge that is placed on you. A charge to keep I have. I don't know if the song is right. And not only a sudie kese, and no a sudie kese. Eda obi also say obey use the word shall, especially when you're a government official. But Junewana Junu yes a sasikadi na hefa ne yedefa. Ene yase kwabna ne akwa kodi sika. Ye hwe sika ne yehu. Asim say be predia sika na akwa ese kusua. Bank of Ghana, it be printed about 80 million Ghana cedis. Yes, yes, Ghana. This Ghana, yes, you. Yes, you to printed. You to transfer wrongly. And they are free to go account to me. They are JB account to me. After you go first, Ghanaembra to try. Hey,
Amode akogu abroche invest.
Excavators to credit me. You have to send your 7 producer. You check once and then to their share bottom. And once I went to the sort of the show about man. What's that who did they be obey me a bit to me? Obiato say, well, we are once and I say watching Tuntum. But excavator, it's rich excavator to say once now. I bet you shall you. That's a crop that you know, we have come. I said, you're stupid so low. Emma. The justice system in our country is our biggest headache. I keep saying. Our justice system is our biggest headache. I don't know how you know. Because justice delayed, justice denied. But you wasted so much of our time, so much of our energy, so much of our resources. Now for you didn't know. Kukwasa sa ni agie ni so na afiaba na mfie mienu aba na mfie miesa aba na 4 years aba na politicians who pre was say be producer mo fa cheme kwati we ya it's one thing that is fundamental. Oman bia yenje attention ne endi na attention ne ekokoye political, we end up losing our value as a mind. Muteni Oman bia yenje attention ne endi na yema attention ne ehun sem eye more political e de oyene ene asudie kese e de ma oman a ye friend Ghana, because unim yen as oman ye say krono adoso every single year ye say kronfo e wo krom ha, but ye tumi che kronfo ba ku sempo se sa kronfo we na tumi abon Ghana ama Ghana be do ba biaduri e di say ye paisa krono adoso when na ye kronfo no yey. See, I say krono adoso. Yes, and no question krono adoso. Krono de adoso nyane, but why na ye kronfo no? Ye ya kratifo a ye say, ye wanim die, na ye ko school ahodo, na ye de pen esi paper so, na ye tro abede, na ye calculate niema, na ye keka niema bom, na ye permutation, na tete niema film, na ye de bika ho no, san sam ne bi, san kratifo no, and obo na bo Ghana krono, but enne kwate sa krono kronfo no hwe, the NPP will rise up and say hey, victimization, witch hunting, why they will use all sort of useless languages. It's the same way when NDC is in opposition. Kwakwachi obihwe, NDC will rise up and say victimization, say. They will use all sort of useless languages, all in the name of their political affiliation. But you see, we are not building a political party. We are building a country called Ghana. That is the fundamental interest of every single Ghanaian. Njoya mayoni, nasa utie yen. Nasa few say your political party is paramount. Yes, all your political party there. Kahuru say it is a good people of Ghana. And the quarter something about a political party now. Who say NDC say MPP no. Omo we ye de buy us say me no ka say. Omo for me abai a wo nya bi edidimu. Eti NDC fo nom apprentice ni bi asate ye dwa homaso ne hantan a ofro a ne pen no ka kire o time of pen no be answer of course time or pair and otumi and you be share say me I guess na metimi ehia as asem hunu ne sam kurasesem na and these apprentices ni be start so omo ye wa ban we mu no. You see, when you start talking about Sanema way, people will feel say you are being too harsh. No, you're not being too harsh, but you're being responsible. And when I had a very lengthy conversation with one fan of mine, a friend. And I said sometimes I am being too hard on, especially the opposition, the NPP. Now I say, something previous, National Cathedral. Now, Abai say he will not commit Ghana for Sika 1 person po because you know na ni swade hunu you know na da so you know na niama oye ade person oye de bo man Ghana. Now at the end of the day ni na you say we spend about $58 million. Then before say the baba ho so no we spend beyond that amount of money. About this why not make money so board? Because the taxpayer, that is me and the war, we deserve quality health care. See the year. Say me menante, say me yare, me hold to me na menante ko ayare sabia. And who may hear say between ya ayare papa. And that's for all the ingredients, and I say a requirement, and I say accoutrement, so whatever they call it. And Yama, and who may hear some nurses for anybody want a Juma. And some nurses for just said money be. And your money be, no more to be the shame. Some call ambulance. And I say, me the honey at the Mikoti ambulance more. And say ambulance no, and to me provided me that first aid. Now me to me first aid attendant no, say the bear. Say ya the Mikoko ya resabia, Metimia, sa and Quano, na Matimia back. But whereas in a country called Ghana, on my team, and now you say, hey, wait, I say, ambulance. On my pain that another Kufaru Kokotoye. Moko here don't do a see what Drosso, I no say. Do those ones, I say, a see what Drosso. It is the responsibility of Aban BSA about providing an essential and responsive social amenities. And the Munibia or no, every that's it. Or also want to be a harano. What to me, a Juma Miatin a tour. Tio Bibiania, yet or mine, and I say, or beer or yet Jubian, yet a tour. It's me at a tour. Not to others so dear so pa. A tour kese prepa and yet 7 previous son. O shall be to a timia. Ebiane you be a catria, Bosume Oji. No, ya tim a tour cracker way. Near tin nash tour, ya tim profit tour, ya two be beer or ya jubia tour. So you say, ya first out tour way for Cocoya a quine. And ya first out tour way for Cocoya school are dying. Ya first out tour way for Cocosi hospitals. You first out to away, ever provide electricities. You first out to away, ever acquire suo, ever one when it be. Now at the end of the day, Satuano, Quabnaniat, that's out to others. Now we'll see me here. Remember me some and my Quabnanina will be able to order say, oh, fine, Jibano. And but sir, me as a gardening, me doing what I mean to say, me as a subjoining, it is extremely madness on my part. Because my sweat, Peter and Ama Agyarko, it's my sweat. And I buy this ODD and no the mayor of many years. It's being it NDC, being it NPP, being it CPP, or a baby of a Basubiano, and your banner Sadian and a Shadia say, it's what to be provided. And near man, a bit to me, Ama Timemuni, and Waharano. You create an enabling environment for businesses, for individuals to grow and strive and make sure say there is something better on the table. It is not just by word of mouth. It is not just by fallacious comments. It is not just by yakika wedia for your home friendly. At every point in time, Eya buying na kasa na sadie because government has no business doing any business. A buying any business bia. A buy do not transact in any business. Eya twa hodo a ye me ye je wonash ye je antaro ye je bibia ye to no na me to na ya kese na ye de sa to na kokogina so de akokobobsia na ye de aba be ye oman no eyie ba ye bobsia se de kokoye oman ni yia sa eto no at the end of the day eto no ye hu so fa so bia hey ofa o ha de say obi to no ma waka peter ya ma akoko antaro e de asem yay! I don't know way. Yanka be shame. Now you see your quack jet to not be to the baby. I say, Sato, I made a quack with your Sato. Sato, a trophy on the day. It is abandoned Jatua, a Magana ho, a Ghana, a bread. The quadruple say the quack on mine a year. Ya kwaje na edema ya outline said by your money ye no sanya mano ye ba it doesn't reflect it is here. Now listen and listen good. And the Ghana National Fire Service for so yes here obi bia o so ya Ghana bia go to the Ghana National Fire Service Training Center e Ghana ha especially in crime. Not say the cameraman follow me very well me pacho we dey be srewa. Sir, ekoba say omu training center hodomo omu ni a friend say fire hose or say fire tenders or whatever obody edumja so omu conscientize one of fire service personnel no and the students omu fire service personnel they are yet to graduate no omu sua de no ne conscientize was say katawani na fo adwini busa ne udumja na okuta hose no na yeka fire service man, are you ready? I say, yes, sir. Sir. Then, yeah, issue command. Na okuta, course no. I so okuta bibiao. Na asa ne odumja. But in practical, the practicality aspect of it, obe free a hono mo beba also ba bedumja no. Also hose mu a, obe na hose no etwene sign because water is much more heavier. But school hodomo, a bit hodomo, the trade. The same way the Ghana Police Service ever caught training a hood war, near Kuta and Ma, Abaya, ya to say a tuo, Abba, ya decorate to say a tuo. And I dear Ma Quabana, say, Quabana 5 year exercise, or 5 year training. I mean, what kind of attitude and lifestyle is this? Yay! Got the same way the military. Quite the ambulance service. More quite and cake castle, more quite almost see ya. More quite cake castle, the training center war and cake castle. I training ambulance service personnel. Go there and see for yourself what is going there now. And then is somebody here training. No munya sick crisis someone here a juma. And to me a boy, to me a boy, my Ghana no. And they may be granny honomo. I've been there several times, countless number of occasions. Yay! Yes, I do want to about share next Saturday. But share this. If you want to work in council, anyone that was working training school, what shall we now? Look at that. Obekobe bano onimshe. In the same way, the military. You be quoted what I call bush. Yes, there's something called jungle. Near bay training, sir. Exercise, sir. No better not quite remember anymore. I said, what the yapipa home. But not come at the office. Yes, sir, friend of accountant, control accountant general, and now say a friend of Pehinibi or a minister. Or the spending officer, he is this, he is the governor of the Bank of Ghana, he is this, he is that, no the pen, as the paper so, no assign, nasika, wrongly, akokoto obi account mu, yes, we sika da, yehu, and yet traceable. Yay! And now, 21st century, in our country called Ghana, this is the kind of experiences, yeah, and so, one casamofa when you Ghana acquire IMF 17 good times, meboa. The minimum amount of Ghana edge is 3 billion US dollars. Montreal, one single project, that 3 billion US dollars. Yeah, there you are, Muhan Musaya. And me what money. Tell me, somebody should tell me. And I remember clearly, none were parliaments. The last State of the Nations address by His Excellency Nana Agyarko Ivan, or say Ghana is not broke. Or say Ghana, here and that. Papa, you cry here before some about Bayamuno, or say it is a castle as we come the year. But a buyer, a Yanya Huchana, and a Quanana, and a mania, and a God of war who ye. Mebois. And I instead of office. God of war experiencing the worst leadership ever. And I sincerely pray, so the history of Ghana will be written without the name Nana Agyarko Ivan as the President of the Republic of Ghana. And I believe so. I sincerely pray and believe strongly. Say, Dakro, you better the history of the Republic of Ghana. Near His Excellency the former President Nana Agyarko Ivan, not because of our idea, but the promise he made and the things he said to us. MBG said, David, this man will be an extraordinary president. But hey, he is one of the most worst presidents ever in our republic. Mebois. Ghana for Mebois. The result is what we saw in the 2024 elections. Mebois now. So Mebois, the result is what we saw in the 2024 general elections. And on this, minority of war, national job society, Mundru 19 po, or Mundru 90. Yet the problem had to say, yes, from a Pami and Addison, Philip Addison, a lawyer, and Addison, a governor of the Bank of Ghana, former governor of the Bank of Ghana. Between 2021 and 2022, the governor of the Bank of Ghana reportedly printed over 80 billion Ghana cedis to finance government expenditure. What kind of expenditure are buying? Without parliamentary approval. CEO, these are basic proceedings and basic principles and procedures. It's Obibia Ediso. Because when it comes to the legal tender, you a transacting business, a Ghana cedis. And only legal tender. Now, when it comes to the definition of Sika, the legal tender, that is, Sika, the cedis, if a transacting business, the legal tender, it's made a Juma, the exchange of goods and services. Now, between 2021 and 2022, the governor of the Bank of Ghana led administration, let me put it that way, printed over 80 billion US Ghana cedis to finance government expenditure without any parliamentary approval, exceeding the legal limit of 5% of the previous year's revenue. Investigations into the illegal printing of by the Bank of Ghana, however, reveals that 35 billion was printed in 2021 and 45 billion was printed in 2022. Till now, let's look at a range from 2021 to 2022. Yeah, or 2025 this year. What has happened? DNSC. Yay. Between 2021 to 2022, Yatimia printed over 80 billion Ghana cedis. Yeah, printing here, the fundamental question is, because they claim that these monies were printed illegally without any parliamentary approval. Fast forward. And there may be some questions, Keke. Because some of these questions are relevant. I say, Bisa, Yes, say Auditors General report. Actually, prefer say Ghana, Yaboka, any diska, and a young baby Sikano Aquacofa, and now your friend of irregularities. And irregularities and also so your contract irregularities, payroll irregularities, and whatever irregularities. And I remember clearly, so His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said, subcontractors have received double payment. Meboa. But the problem we have as a country is our justice system. See if I said no court. Near Konya Tentrine, near for Emu or Mino, a bedu point to be. Now the justice system will delay every single process. Now for lawyers acquire, now Brofocus here. Now lawyers will call the defendants and the respondents. No make a couple of workers here. We try some near the to assembly the shada. Sir, we try some near to assembly the shada because there is a particular interest in every single case that happens in the justice system, in our judiciary. And no wonder the judiciary is one of the most corrupt institutions in Ghana. But it is one of the most corrupt institutions in Ghana. And research has proven that almost every year, research you got top 5 institutions in Ghana, and one more project and the chrono ados the judiciary is always part of it. I'm top 5 it's a massive see Ghana ni a patent obra. Ghana ni patent training na ho kire no because ekwa won kwei e dey pa na betimi aboa no e dey pa na besi ajeso bi okutua bribe okutua demude e call the judiciary or institutions na etimi aboam ono tumi nya tentre no by the time obewie no na waboka che some obi a some imprediasa ati the baby I say ono dey offer tentre ne fa nya adwuma. So the judiciary has compromised and therefore enter nyat and training our courts. And you dem years because they are the highest bidders. Asambako na obi say oh make you pay 20,000 Ghana cedis. Now abese me go kotua na me de kokko patent training. Na ni but because you say the panel offer you say hey now, and that is the experience we are going through as a mind. It's the be a mind you can tell me so and they free so them that go incredible no that is so that the cancer will quite so that Omaya, yes, but Omaya, we are rich in every single natural resources. Ha! And no part with them in Nampana, me who ye japadia be, and ye near me a good cry war. Some predecessor, yet to that say, I ask myself, say, are we serious as a mind, as a country? Sure, Abua, baby, the irony, as listen. And you was them, and there was a woman in the same. Baby, one cry enye, a crow one got a hand one cry enye, a honomo, and ye 2 brothers say, a bois, ye de air cry, me bois. Yea, baby, a quarry one. These are the places where they have the most worst roads ever. Baby, a quarry. Quarry no friend say abua ye bubu ye was so many and them ye de quarry e de ye abua hwe quarry se region esi wo se poti go to Ashanti region e honum do so puo pa go there and see for yourself. These are the places where omu experiencing the worst ever acquire e wo Ghana memwa ko be good wo e honum na hia ne aho kire ohia bubro Ohiamu fitapa, ohia tokuro dem eye babia gold and diamond and bauxite manganese and then natural resources are. It will provide us with money. These are the places are a war. But Ghana, and these are places, you know, one of where experience power to the core. So me walk but this time Obuasi should look like one of the biggest and finest and the most beautiful places in the world. But go to Obuasi and see for yourself right now. I say the Jeroboam Temple, the House of Beauty. Yeah, the House of Beauty. Who died away? Nice seven brothers and the Jibini. That is how Obuasi looks like right now. That is how Takwa looks like right now. That is why. That is how Prisia Huni Valley mines look like right now. That is where every single mining area at it is here. Meboa. Yay. Yeah, here may be a timber war. Yeah, go so I have to mem the Nasifo. Go there and see timber hold war. And when you check New York, see near the Niana exported their core Amahod also. Now Mahod also converted Niano. No more they are yet Nema, they add value to it. No more you must have a time I body. But go to Ahafo, Kohod Munako. There are still schools and the trees and Krapo and a friend say, Akunya ends Naso. Go there and see. Just go there. Moko go so memne Kasapene, those places, those areas. Just go to those remote areas. Yay. Moko hini. And what about at the war? Sasa we me sana kameka. Sorry, me sana kamenka, but I never menka. See, I say, a good year be a banner say opportunity be a ba. Say yen to gold, our mamu, yen to both sides, our mamu, near see the market and near, yes, say family and friends, me bois. A baby, say, away family and friends. Into yes, Mahama, and the man in Ibrahim Muhammad, a family and friends matter. But the brony, a bano be too dear, yes, say, when ye, a investment, not good enough for higher or greater percentage, not their code chrome. Na ye, gusu ebre, ye Jimmy, excuse my language. Yay! What I tell me about ye Jimmy? Because one, say the man Ghana ni, na say Ghana ni yes Jumana. Yes, oh, when ye a kufano de ban, what for sending you and then why so a family and friends matter. But ye the man brony dear, yes, where the investment, not brony not to me a sign contract. Not Ghana with just 10%, not the 90% to go to club. It's yes, ye Missika Petty Brody in the bar. Over time you see Cano fan call because ya Jina, ya de a pescado, and you honor. Ghana never to me, yes, if I'm a Ghana because or no, are you affiliated to that particular president or are you relative to that president? That is the mindset of the ordinary Ghanaian. And about how you can say, a Gino, some way. And sometimes we struggle so hard to making sure say you remember mine at me di sika e wo Ghana had to say but there be to ye ho ase and there be na ekope sika mo kwa isi region koko he kwari aboa e wo isi region for the next 100 years yet to be too wie na ewu and then oba wa wo no I wadi 2 years or 1 year Prof Boadu no ni be bosomi miesa bosomi 9 po onyandi ye say you see two sa abo no near the aye kwan a we will you will asphalt every single village road in Ghana na still na abo ni biaka ye de be kwa mahodo so nyako koton de nyeska but kwabna ni trimodin Ghana you see a trimodin you see enye ya ho sa keke so police for ya nche ye so ya mo bi anche ye it's not to say Musa, but Kwabna bad year, you see a who brony dear, near who prayer, you who brony. I don't know what is wrong with Africans, but you who bronia, you who not prayer, sir. I think there's some prayer, sir. I didn't say, I didn't say. And it's so embarrassing, so confusing, so bad, terrible to a point where I say you need a pair or memuha. Nti ekoko je bo say $3 billion. Yes, say the ba your money ye, e da bo money ho bra, e da bo on mine akohoma, ye be ko be ba no, hwe ye hu hwe. So nurses do not even have a near man. It will be born what we do when they do effectively. Go to most of the nursing training schools in Ghana. I am challenging everybody. Go to all the nursing training schools in Ghana. Now, go here near my but the practical so nursing training schools in Ghana. Says I man adequate at the man nurses of war. Or mobile. Jabuba Bontia. Never was a friend and nurse in Washata, then Washington the two Guatademu, no Jania Homasro, almost Quatsna Honoma, it's a Munukwana no Moody. Because Oko school when the practical training aspect of it wasn't there. They dealt more with the theory and a book and a question way and a book bra and a young test way and the young paper way. Sir, into the practicality aspect of it do not really exist that much. It's next never battle. Obefi abonten beba na so obefi school beba no na niema bebre wo hodo ba na aka chiri because odi niema na odi ye adwuma no. The same way most of our doctors go school e Ghana ha. Meboa most of our doctors go school Ghana ha. Amukosia adwuma amukosia niema every Ukraine e various places Barbados ni ade Barbados kra the Ghana for nurses for bi na wo hodo mo. Now among the experiences no e dey about my mu ha no mu say eti dia pa dey pair as of mine your companies are your guru yay your companies your good almost all our companies are sub brothers are or mine no e bo ho ka and making sure say some our companies we there ye fa mo ye ho bra na provide some services any nyuma e fa mabru no bi no kwabda na ma ne ho so a ye se na wotwe na so konofo atam 40,000 Ghana cedis no de ahye ne ho okwa no de akoye masem sa nseburu sa na bosom yaso Moseburu sa na afiaso zeburu sa na 4 years aso. This is what we go what we do as a mind na kwabda na bre. Give up the salaries on money there. But then go there and see for yourself. Yay. The School of Engineering. Go there and see for yourself. Almost all facets of the economy or people who learn say that come to media munim there and they are dia bo man no obeko on na nyema ye de akadia ye de suya de na bi ni ho. And if you want to be more practical, go to the private sector. Make I pass and I know. I'm saying and now the president fufu a day. On this episode, DA pa ko private sector sa no dada no boa. Na mebo pa na ko no boko so pa kese pa. Every before no binom. Omo boga na ko no wi aga sika bebre. E dey yechiche bu amusu musu. Na obi momo ne hu musu. Say ya chew. Wa udi abakra tem ne ya chew say yese kokoko yi hu no na obegina say chobo yi. National security for this soldier for which some for no go on. Go on no na dream na ho. No mu say Ghana nya won there. So ya ti obi enne say nipa ko no wa bo Ghana kro no anasa sika bia fa den sase enti ya hwehwe ne kratam na ye be kisu say sa nipa ko da sumasi anase obente Sunday we na fa den sase enti ye kwakwache dey interrogate no na make sure say sika na wa fa no ne sabeka na be who say nipa ko no ye MPP ni then MPP sympathizers will go there chobo ye me say me soldier ni enne ana me ye security person enne wa wo be ba ho no no so ya boa de fa ho ne hwe e be chiwo guawo am what dream more than ho because Ghana is sort of for a political party. Ghana belongs to the state. Ye na emu ene yete. In this ye ye responsible well enough. Naka all the natural resources are ye wo hard mu say. Naka bi hu betu bi aso ye. Ne de bi akwa ba hodo so akwa koton anya sika e de aba bo man Ghana. And no be share immigration officer. kama pa wa dress kama pa na ne pay kura ndu 4,000 Ghana. We share prison officers. Officer wa dress kama wa sesa de tro guatadiem or call share wa share the kick you fine. Obekwa na ne pay kura ndu 3,000 Ghana. Na we share police ni obokra de asa ye kakra. But police ni still obekwa so agina kwan ho akwa sika. Soldiers for to mean kasa. And come the soldiers for pa as what to mean kasa. Because amrano emo home crisis wo kasa. The simple question is obemu hadie pa de pe asomai. What do you want as a country? Because almost bibi bia yesi e pe bia no akofom amasisi ayetu. Hwe remember on the January report me refi I will come there. Baby, you dream as a mine. See, I said, I can't my home in the soul. Near see a bayer the papa be their boy or maya. Near to be a jay and Naswa. Nakaye, somebody say, a sorry, and yes, that's a sika. Ya dress a kama. Near Costa for Mutunia as a Murphy. Near Co on was a Yakos less and Puerto Kuana Dama. Near the baby boy who bra. No, come on. You should not be giving out because the population is saying, you do 35 million. But we have every single thing here in Ghana. God has blessed us with every single thing in Ghana. But then there is the money here. All these natural resources. And then and then I can say, Moko for just here. Namoko for their housing project. I didn't urem a good more than a bossoma as a anniversary. And a Pemia Kobusa and the go on regional minister. Rita Akosa Rita. Na wako mo nanano mo sanyo wie nanano mo sanyo wie mo meje sadamo no wie sa because that housing project is still hono enye ne Kofodia Government Hospital I mean say it's hono mo sisi ya in the same way go to all other regions all the 16 regions but the hospital some cry better cry and cry yay. Baby, a hospital who some a kakra and crying. A Hadamuna Benya, I mean, big hospital, Benya Range Hospital, Ubenya, Friday said, 37 military hospital, Ubenya Kolebu, Ubenya, all these big hospitals. Yes, it is the regional capital or the nation's capital. We agree. But go to different regions and see. What different regions? Baby, this is Ashanti region. A home point, the only surviving biggest hospital in Ghana it's me referral cases from 12 different regions. Ashanti region. But I'm going here. For not teaching hospital. And the truth is the effort of His Royal Majesty Yera Otumfuo said to trouble you. And the all reviving hospital no I'm a hospital to set here. There are a lot of hospitals sitting in the bush. As we are crying for money to revive those hospitals. Yes, ako pesika and they can revive those hospitals. When we know that these hospitals, hey, Rade Jacopo. Yaya catch for no. Yaya catch for the Yako school. You want him there? You do book yansa. Yes, also na seven predecessor. You bought mine on yes, also the Jimmy. Mofan champion no pay. Because sometimes it's so embarrassing. Sometimes it's so frustrating. Sometimes it's so worrying. Say but sad way. Naka yetimi see hospitals is area 250 bed capacity. Kwakwaji menu say for the past 8 years yetimi anya access road. Baby I ever fa akwa be fa so akwa hospital wadom no wantimi anya. Eyina mu kana fa akwa hospital wadom wantimi anya. But watimi see hospital no dey wie esi wadom am no ka say adane bosom esi Ashanti region. E was area mebua. Afari Military Hospital, a 500 bed capacity, one of the biggest and finest hospitals ever in the world. Military hospital in the world. Mokohe, emu nyema empa ni air conditions. Ni nasefo etuto gumni na apro. Akrofo wona be wia bisusu wia bi. Because the captain him. Wona be wia bi. So sometimes when we start doing these things to ourselves, you say, you're printing 80 billion Ghana cedis. You say, the Bible resource, or mine, near the amount of mine, Ajana Naswa, Sasikano, dear near the year. What, show me one single projector. You did Sasikano, and the year of Mamuha. You're the enriching individuals. The Komanu, Babajo dear, Kwaku, Babajo dear, Yao, Bajo dear. Now, this is what I says. I say, my business also quite Jose. Sania JJ. And sometimes when we also tend to be blaming these small scale miners, and they can say, for now, and I'm a dream when I'm in Tiasia. Because the system has been so worse to the point where ye nim ne ye pe, and ye nim ne person ye, and ye who be a direction the person ye. Because you're here, and what's that now? No care for that idea and go boy. You go suit Yahoka. Yea, Mahama Econo, or just Abu said it to Horomo, and Nado, ever to us, or so no one for that, but I'll call yet. And then care for that as Combos Abu said it be, Eja cat Horomo and the Yetria. But me no can say, Yanko, Eastern region, Yakwa Shanty region, and that is a Fijaqua Bray, is it north or south or whatever. Quarry, a boar, I de ya quine, and yana or honomo. A quite eastern regional, a boar, yadia quine, and yana or her. Oko central regional, your lithium, our honomo, yes, as will be a northern region. Your gold, our ha, Oko diamond, you will be our quetia, a lot of places here in Ghana. Oko Maganiza will be a takwa, Ghana Maganiz company in Suta, and yana or a honey away. You will go to Watakwa, you will be a Pristia, you will be a Honey Valley, you will be a Young Free, you will be a most of the places here in Ghana. And you know, not quite a pump mupa, no, it's not one of 5 minutes. Now, for 200 Moses, you will go to all. Yay. And now, man, not quite a pump mupa. No, you know, one of Moses, I'm not kind of 5 minutes. Near from my sister, what I'm saying about 2 good, you may not go to the because Ghana is full of gold, it's rich of gold. But ye nim a dear ye this out de mano, ye so fast why ye. So we end up always begging. Not to follow someone who want to be too good, this is why. No more so the pen and the paper, and the so up Ghana chrono near the brofocasa be you or one. And that is the Auditor's General Report. That is the Auditor's General Report. Near the Brofobia said discrepancies. And the discrepancies, your irregularities, and your why financial payroll. And it is 7 previous. It won't take Brofo who produce all who know. Now, I'm here by a Juma. Me controlling accountant general. My trainer now call me cat double. It is 7 Brofo. Now call me deep pain. Do I who say any pain no? Na contract irregularities, you say contract way, na kwam na kese this kind of man, ya fa man ya de kokoma nash. Ni atra sa de we wan ya te ho sa. You say, ya fa sika we, e fa kokoye gobe. Ya fa sika da koye gobe. Ni de sika da kokoto, e friend say bancha pese na say body pese ni aye. Body pese ni ban gobe. Difference wo, prices na different. But kwabna na say, e no de kokoye ye. So sa ne wo ye so a look at that. Yay! It is so far so good. Amano, yeah, market time. But it has become so unusual of the opposition party. They have been so irresponsible to a point to say the only thing they know, as a Ghana, you want the as they are the true owners of our land. Hey, MPP for Montras Ramonye, or Mani Yamudia. Montrase, if you want to come to power again, stop that childish attitude now. 6 months or 7 months in a Bible, and they lay all the foundation. Hey, Munjase Bruno. Then I hear say, I will say, everything that is going on over the education sector was being tackled by the NPP and so what? Put me, I don't want you. Say no stress fee, say no fee stress, say whatever. Muna mo buy. Muna mo buy. And nema kiti go on mo. Yes. One foundation. O ma pay ni that Rollins me boa. On a starting 1992 constitution. O si ole foundation me boa. Oba ye, o ma pay that akofo. O so ole foundation me boa. O free so the late John Vassar Chambers ya me for the cross say and no say na woda belated happy birthday to our ancestor. O so ole foundation. Then came John Dramani Mahama. On so ole foundation. Then another Dr. Boadu came. On so ole foundation. Now that John Dramani Mahama is on the scene and he's also laying foundation. The foundation who do you lay no? From Rollins a peso. Me for Kwame Nkrumah because Kwame Nkrumah agenda that the tribunal. And so check most of the presidents in Ghana. Me boa. This foundation now you see you lay. I see you do. Some foundation no the land of God is suffer getting money to even feed themselves. Monko boase boys wo hono me come di won. Oboase maburu ebra e come di won. Yay! Now no boys be so mko akopɛ la sulala akopit bi mo akopɛ sika na soja for to me Ghana ni oye soja ni mo to me atwituo ahwɛ na kwa me ni mo abɔ ni tuo pay akukɔ from mako enkoro kopem na ye ka ho asem Ghana ni eku Ghana ni because of sikanti Ghana ni eku Ghana ni because of sikanti. And you ask yourself, say, are we yes, Jimmy and answer answer as a mine? But yes, Sika wo, Sikano, a bini ho. And not telling you what pay di, what just gonna be ni. Yay, I'm not telling you yes, gonna be ni, no problem. I'm not telling you what pay can be a dear. No kwabnani also ye Ghana ni. No be a shadow kutupa, no a tabe tuo, no a share kwabnani nim, no a so a body tuo. Pay. I could never tell us for so all in the names of Pesika. For newborns, yet to meet chasing Kurasa, Babuko top pit Musa Tam no more. Memoir. Whom is I pick Guado? He made a statement on the floor of Parliament about this very disturbing issue that is happening now a year half. That is Kenya say area Buho. Kenya say in these enclaves. Go to all these mining places, all these mining sites. You will realize they say some never be brave or no more koswa and far never far. And never know koswa membu and far. Yet to see kasopa. But kwabnane how to regulate the money. Now say young school beer. Ne ye chichi ye de omu book no nim de. Ade hanti ye na wona wo course so omo ko ba so no mo de pen e ti paper so ma boye krono ye se ye ne ye frɛ ya kratefo no inshallah wo fo no ye ne yes ye wia yay eti okwa national service yes national service gift yawari $4.5 billion national service payroll scam yay na so start so ti wono mo sister, of course, no, so now people I mean, come on, I mean, what kind of system is this? Hey, not the park of anyway, that's here, now people must more sympathize. That's why I could now that Choboy, Moba, that's a man, I can be so genial, and I say, me be and as I may your Kobosa, come at Guamo. And the same thing applies to all those NDC people. Jadia who must wonder what some of you guys. Now, you people are enjoying honeymoon, and we appreciate that. Because we are enjoying honeymoon. Now that time will come. Because it is too early. So be judge any NDC government official be no problem. Ghana is for Ghanaians. And your political party, to hell with whatever political party. I'm going to say, NDC people, Ghana family home. The moment I'm for me, I buy, that is our concentration. The moment I for me aban, that is our concentration. And found one in yesi, and then found one in abayan or war any power babu and a political party or babu. The moment US for ever swear or be in first, yes say America first, not political party first, not Democrats or whatever. Republican and Democrat for ye nim sadia no after elections, but America first. In the same way, Ghana first in everything that we do. It is here say, and ye boy a hobra, ni ye kwa pesika, ni ye deba be Ghana ye ni ye kwa bobusia. Whereas here in our country, ye wo sika ni ye hu ni ye de ya. Then we ask ourselves to say, seven producer, dear pa ni ye se ye ji, e wo mamu ha. Yay. And then and these are some of the things it keeps me awake every single morning. Now, Michelle Enra, the Auditor General reports. I will publish it and I'll share the discrepancies. Say, "Wo boy, no be so." I will say, Sanko fuya. Yes, sister, sika kwa question was asking ehwehwe wo hui. And the this kind of question baby and no, they cannot account for, unaccounted for, where you're unaccounted for. You're told where you're to be providing receipts, all those kind of. Near beside was a uncle for way pa the same bread as into most of Ghana for. My final word to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. I know you have come to rule Ghana to leave a legacy. Be bold enough. Be bold, be extra bold enough. Now, be our say or the Ghana about to twice. Obama Ghana chrono, even the Ghana woo, and peg Ghana ye, Sandy Pakrono, no matter the stature in the community or in the society or here in Ghana, making sure so make propose Sandy Pakrono. Never no just Libya. Not just a system, we now chrono, na mobo honomono, na making sure say, Mamma Trune, at me at the do honomo. Now yet to me at me at check for the good. Not in the illegal way, but the legal way. But remember, today, if you think that the system is for you, someday the system will be against you. Obekaya mekayo. Agrada. Now those times. No yeah book of fofaso. Na friend say garris because sika garris or whatever it was. Now the system was for her. Into quite a while na so boo we are. No about metro man. Metro man. No much was a buaka ho. Ebeko police station enkosi hwe. Ebeko court enkosi hwe. Za. We try some sir. We book of be brafa so be bidum kwa fa ho awu ni adia. Today the system is against her. And she's been jailed 15 years. It's the same way someday, one day, the system will be against you. But the fundamental truth is that say ene amino ka say ebia because of usuba ne nyema bia oni ye bia beda na di na mo bi ho akere no na wanya tentrene na akwatia no na di sa de pakro na busu ya that's what say ko tu mu sa akeke kra na fa so be e na ko for menya free so the more we keep our justice system delayed, the more we deny justice here in our country, and that is a very worrying situation. Obibia the D Aba ewo the Auditors General report mu yes say no hu bomu a we di Ghana sika. Please, Attorney General, call that person, prosecute that person, Office of the Special Prosecutor, or every single agency that is involved. Say a Ghana for in Accra Pona. What you want in any misa one say about the son of Ghana chrono. Because remember, this generation will grow old, we will die, fade out, and the next generation will come. Yay! Your generation way. Tete for Akufo no more time no. On be free ho. Ne occupy those generation. That generation yes be free ho no mo. Ne ye man ne ye nananom so be occupy. They will forever be Ghana. They will not forever be NDC NPP because remember there was a time Aside for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's time, there was a CPP, and the CPP is nowhere to be found. And the CPP at Toast Room, I'm going to say, in the same way NDC will fade out someday. The same way to send the MPPs is your man, we are Musia, the same way, the NPP is also struggling right now. We are building a country, not a political state, not a political party. And no should be our fundamental focus. This pettiness. Yeah, bibia obi di bone ne yakwa kwache da. Na MPP no MPP ni a na MPP for aba begina chire and that this is against our democratic rule nonsense. Na na kan yakwa kwache uni na wo say. OSHA report no observation 1.2 payments made before the contract was signed. The government of Ghana through the Ministry of Finance made a total payments of I think this will be a made a payment of 15,738,750 Ghana cedis between September 26, 2018 and 7th June 2019 to Sir David Ajayi and Associates Limited before their agreement was officially signed on 20th August 2029. Before class contract no private said they cracked paper you and pen out paper so as sign near no. Now a buying through the Ministry of Finance at 15.7 million Ghana cedis at the amount David Ajayi say one year number keke. Ewa hanu muse. The innocent remember breakdown of how the 15 million Ghana cedis were disbursed. Edema David Ajayi Nasifo. It's innocent.
Yeah, Jebi. Yeah, I think it's all good because Cathedral one issue over the years I've said a lot about it. And Tinano report I hate the media airwaves, not much information flowed regarding the details of it. And as well, that is when the Minister of Communication gave that deeper insight. What actually it entails. By reporting I saw some of your friends in the media on some other platforms. I'm more catching Ghana for say some ferry. Cathedral na mo say omo disikano musikano everything has been accounted for. Enti abeya kra yam papa akufo ado na kwisi boaten nom chew. Na bibisa mo say dia na Ghana for ya no wronger. Some of these jokers are the people who have taken over the media airwaves. Omo misinform me amanfo. They are just selling their ignorance to general public, and for me that is very dangerous. Debbie, so only analytical sensor. You better go sit somewhere. Don't do politics. Cause politics and your comedy. Now you be cracking jokes and money passing. When the information and you need to delve deeper. Sabaya ubehu, anyantiasi anyangumu, and sana wo kasachile nipa manipa tia. What make sense? But people very often advertise raw emotions, and I can't say no gum. And now better now delve deeper into this particular report. Now we had that kind of commentary now, man for then you understand why over the years you suffer at the hands of some media people in this country. The misinformation and the disinformation campaign still in play. They are just selling their ignorance to majority of the people because they have platform. And for me, that's my worry. To start with, JB, Yateha Anna Aya Shraj, Aya Honorable Okudato Ablakwa, and the Koma Shraj say, Yama contract say in National Cathedral. But Oshema, well, there has been a lot of infractions. Shraj say a proper investigation conclude say the entire contract na Yama for National Cathedral is illegal. Because your friend is saying some of the procurement, your friend is saying irregularities.
There were procurement breaches.
Exactly. Laws and that's why you go through now were circumvented. Yet I've always argued say competitive tendering has always been the default position of the Procurement Act. Unless there is an emergency, nobody can convince me that the National Cathedral was an emergency that we needed a sole sourcing. But they handpicked this gentleman, and for design alone, we paid a whooping $21 million to somebody to design your friend say a cathedral for us.
Say your argument on TSA.
JB, it's not about any majuma. It is about your friend is saying best practices around the world. Yahubi. And you also gauge it against the economic circumstances that prevailing in the country at a particular point in time. At the time, what was the state of the country's economy? The way a play and the agitations are not Ghana for a year. These are some of the things. The National Cathedral Board of Trustees now commission will be say we internal audit report because this report wasn't meant for the public. It was for internal your friends use and consistently you could see that leave much to be desired. And for me, it's not just about how monies were used or whatever. Makacha said the idea you conceive say yes cathedral and kasa idea nyansa. That is why I've always been saying this whole thing is a senseless enterprise. Because to begin with, no, what time and now you womb at the time. Now, President Akase me, Masenya me boss me see cathedral, man. Me baba see cathedral. We all thought President Baba here appeal for Panama Christopher and as for I don't know Timoni. It was going to be some kind of a private way.
That was it initially.
Exactly, that was how it's supposed to be.
Emma Captain Crackosra
exactly. Yaniba ya hosono. Na we found out the sabo maisikam. We found out the sabo maisikam. Parliament kura omoye in charge of your finances almost more approval no that layer was circumvented. They were never consulted. Nobody was informed. President felt like I am the Lord of all kings or whatever, Lord of lords. Into the sabo maisikam no at $50 million seed money. Now what for second for Yataba no so for 15 million no so they are more. So at the end of the day, monies are for the state are committed to other reasonable ventures. I'm not Ghana for some fashion. We were investing these monies in some of these senseless enterprises. And again, so we had the next cost at the time now. Baby, I know you're quite see a dying. Now you see judges dying as fresh as 2024. Now you judges dying, you know. So I'm asking those journalists on radio saying, say, Uncle Pablim channel. Have they sat down to quantify the amount of money are you involved in the buildings now you pull it down? And now your friend said passport office there was this private organization you could put it down you must Ghana more compensation for pulling down their distance.
Yeah, sure.
Sunday Monday I'm told say Judge Baku Prade I resign here because Nema na economy he felt like it didn't make sense. I'm gonna resign for these are the realities I can was them. And in some number, instead of us to talk about the issues, you know, how it started and the fact that we didn't need to commit state resources to some of these enterprises because Nigerian Serbia, you know, Nipa the Seni and Hunyan Sentis and some Naya Kano, Sabi, I was here this as you can acquire the Fufro. And Debbie, the Naya cry some bros and say, Nipa no Mudi Ade, we enemy are soft company for every Sunday. They have the opportunity of meeting helpless, their friends, poor people in their various churches. They understood the reality of the economic circumstance and they prevail at the country because we also for Sundays who church members. Niamane koso kroma among for mudo musika akoto their friends government bond and then as for government by force taking it away from them. Some people died in this country. So we nipa. These are some of the realities as a who ne choke you now we say say your mind seek cathedral, it could be some other time, but not this time. But these individuals are the very people who ushered government pampered the Kufuado and directed him say we should go ahead and build a cathedral at the time people were suffering. These were people who were supposed to intercede. They say these are individuals. Esen komujina or mine for nanaimu. Emu se baby or mine no corner there. Yatu ya boasi yes idea we are. But these are the people who were ushering government say yam fasikan konkoya there. After you got to corruption is bubano. Then so for ways are resign. What resign? No. When it started, we told you said that thing was a senseless enterprise in the first place. Again, I don't know who come. There is no money be a kwaya sadia. Nasikana na eba no nefri. Motia na no fiscal na say na nefri ba. We also for now to see a catch us here for my sika. Now the monies are flowing. Isn't it incumbent upon you? So be sikana free for an eba. Now, Obisa say you state Sikano Obisa and Parliament may approve now. You sat there and some were taking fat salaries. I know the day I was the other buy and we boss my resign. I'm saying that these are just cowards because there's a second committee could do Ghana for him catch and say a pamachow for say Mukanyans some yentie. For how many times I may know the Captain Martin as one time I say Ankasada particular was senseless. But so for young coupon amuna mo say Nyankopon bi omoni. If you couldn't see this thing na your friend is saying wona wo dada ho na say wona wo dada nipa. So JB, the fact is this whole cathedral thing, the amount is just a tip of the iceberg. I'm telling you.
Sir.
Oh, I'm telling you. That is why government is going to go ahead to get a proper forensic audit. I'm betting me scrutinize it bit by bit, every detail, the various contracts. Now, maybe if we want to do prosecution, we can still go ahead and do prosecution.
Absolutely.
Because our first trial report now,
yeah.
I recommend this that the board of trustees should be prosecuted.
Headed by Apostle Opuni Anambwa.
Yes.
Opuni, the former.
They should be prosecuted. Because we live in a country here, Obiso a board member, state undertake a project.
Opokuina rather. Yes, Opokuina. Yes.
State is undertake a project.
Yes.
Now board member say my bomb was 20 or so about Ghana was saying Kusi Wati. Or no Bogana Bosnia. Your friends because money and you're ready. What kind of nonsense is this? In a civilized democratic dispensation like this, obi timi so arba bia sika no free bad machine na yanim. Babi okofa sika na buy aduma moya cannot even generate half of that particular money. And then we sit here and we keep quiet. So I think you see, Sanema we cannot fly. Makata say one thing Ghana for will never forgive President Mahama say. Sa cathedral same way you be German and how every single individual so we suffer when we yes wo fase when we hwan you every single person involved in this senseless enterprise they push away Ghana for Ezika to go here must be prosecuted. And for me, until that is done, we will never rest. And I've listened to a lot of comment even saying so just your man for Kana yen sign Kosi cathedral kroma ebesi cathedral kroma biem. It will never happen. Because a mistake, so the Ghana for Sika Kosi cathedral, maybe everything will turn upside down. Because Ghana for will not rest. Because there be land now, we can use it to build the biggest children's hospital in West Africa. And for me, it will be a dear. It will give us that particular strong awakening. There was a time when some individuals wasted our money, wanted to do this, but you're turning into something very sensible. Atenasia, Omo Enya, your friend is saying. Yadisi Children's Hospital. And that hospital will be the biggest children's hospital in West Africa. I bet me Alpine Avenue for research and as for Bema man for free outside. Abba be taken care of. Now it me yes I man for me a bet me boy than some of this cathedral because you kroma yesum nya that. I saw be no kroma only church.
As a church of Pentecost for Christ in prison there church.
Yes, and see ya kase your friend say ya baby asum nya me. Places ever soon yame abu Pentecost for Kosi kakra ya see your friend baby ye gomwa o sahefa esi wonye no moye wo ho your friend say I had a way Independence Square no way
Parents Chapel.
Exactly. If you look at the current I'm saying the current economic circumstances of the country should not warrant and as a my whole price or my science and every single person be okay na procurement breaches. Sika momo yasemomo na yira yehu na nipa ka cha say it was reversed by who prove ni say na yakeka sansem hu we nyina agu na yaja no akọ and kwabra ne betina radio saka say oh yankopo be chew what kind of you say journalism is that? So I'm urging government to be on top of this particular issue. Any single money it won't be and then ababeda be say it's not just $58 million and then sana you signed the cut 34 million.
Yes.
I be kan ho and rise it to over $97 million. I gave be not here. I dare ba ko betimi dia show for mana ayo okwa ensuo gu a enkotere ne emwe say double na edware. That is how much we
pay. You're renting and that's what's and
they are paying for it.
And they are paying for it.
And we see these are some of the things that must change in this country. We cannot live in a country where people do some of these things, people do some of these things. And we say, when we do some of these things, our mind will never grow. We must begin to teach people lessons. There are consequences.
Touch not my anointed.
Yeah, oh, my your friend is saying, people were jailed for willfully causing financial loss to the state.
Yeah.
This time around, this is foolishly causing financial loss to the state. So because when they were doing it, we told them they knew the consequence. They knew that we are not going to finish this thing. And this will be willfully causing financial loss to the state. No, Kojera. What about will be a foolishly causing financial loss to the state? Because these are individuals who are supposed to know better. You understand? So I think that we are going to be on this cathedral till the end. Now you're making sure that the proper forensic audit is done. every single person. So yes of so because this is the time as you send a message to people say whenever you are in prominent position, you are not there because you are the finest brain in town. You are there to serve people. And the other say nipa don't know more money because I dear moye MY Tinumfa so nipewu abra na sa nema we koso. Now everybody was downgrading Ghana.
Yeah.
Among for Bob Bosia Krakoba win maybe. Among for Sika, I invested I say Montomo
yeah.
People were suffering, people were dying. For the first time, we saw aged women Omuhi Musika on local doing demonstration in Accra and being a software who is Uncle way mobile, and they were out there urging government cathedral. I know that we didn't get cathedral. This is what we got. And our expenses, and it's not about we for Sika it is about how these Sikano were used. For instance, how do you explain paying $21 million to be on your design now in a country at the time not SNK, and there is absolutely nothing to show for today? And then other your friend is saying procurement when as for now. Offer report here on one case or more report. It doesn't even speak well of the entire cathedral way. And I'm happy the president has given a directive say the board of trustees should be dissolved.
Yeah.
You dissolve it shouldn't just end there. Now you make sure say every single way be or say you're prosecuting must be prosecuted. Somebody can for
Mamenya quick one Nana Ama Embremu. Also, as part of the contract, say non-renewal of signed agreements for Nehemiah Group. The contract between the National Cathedral and the Nehemiah Group was initially 1 year, starting from March 9, 2020, and renewable based on agreements of both parties. As noted on page 8 of the signed contract, this has, however, not been renewed as it was supposed to have been done. Breakdown of all payments made to Nehemiah Group after March 2021 is as follows: consulting fee $350,000, traveling expenses $26,541, supply expenses $118,672, and a legal fee $28,000 plus other expenses $301. What need now boom about $523,521. And only in Koma yedi ho enanopa sisia ewo ha no museya and also still a lot of controversies. Rama
Jebi Nehemiah Group ya na me to aso.
Okay.
Fellas Kwachofu so last week say presidency of Akufo-Addo claims Nehemiah Group is owned $1.85 million, but the company insists actual debt is just $155,616 per minya side we me screenshot from 3FM online on man ade da Nehemiah Group ne say a car o mine no ebetua de ama wo mo no $155,000 $616
yeah,
but President Akufo-Addo abam presidency so per report that one say omo betua $1.85 million and e de ama Nehemiah Group company no ye adwuma ne say adwuma na me ye no e ka no you calculate biasa the obros na even less than $200,000
yeah,
but presidency when you na e kire say National Cathedral and na me share Nyankopon bo say Nyankopon bo na say be president ya me say aso dan kese de a Nyankopon no munyam no some of these revelations no man dey the pefe say ade a omo plan bibia in opposition.
I see.
Say ye ba mu a ye be create avenues bebra ye betimi dey dey ede abo man ne krono ede anya wealth ede anya ahunyade at the expense of ordinary Ghanaian, the vulnerable in the society. Share JB.
Yes.
National Cathedral revelations enya na eba but the hard drink kakra ne say fellas Kwachofu su eba be address the nation be catch Ghana for say yati $58 million but contractors be the certificate aba some of them to na moka $58 million e ka $39 million so kra da wono mo a eno so kra ne nya dey yentua
na sa ka no kra adwuma be na kwa ne ye ya all this certificate na be da sa
na wo matutuo no
ene na adwuma kwa de ba be
amena donko na wo ma bo no yes I may read in pattern one to one airpine tonton ma wo mo ewe wo mo no Some manana woman to no ya bo $58 million no e ka additional $39 million in the hole. Na me hwe President Mahama wo be hwe hu ni se na Akufo-Addo or the government officials as gashe muntua. Because Ghana for brand nuisance taxes etua wo Ghana ha say. JB ya bre hwe ye ka judges quarters e dwiri ye digu ye. The late President Mills Mahama bre so mu koji loan. And the basis are judges quarters no. Now we ready the man judge for. Edi say ni ye buni e de agu form. All in the name of say be the president here. Messi asoda na say wo hye Nyankopon ba e ye state ni coffers na wo so do nsabom. One kasa no use one kasa resources.
Sources na Ghana for contribute scanner so. Captain Crowd be ko yes so cement scanner so ntine say kakra na e wo ken for ya.
Ghana for ya ka che Nyankopon say e pa so ye pede. Asoda bebrebe a etwa Ghana ahie yi. Asoda bebrebe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, kopim Sunday, twe card baba no. E die benya na chese egu kam dia fa so die benya na ya. Enti e was wo my Ghana. Yetimi spend sika. Close to $100 million say ye see National Cathedral. E kobubu adwapade. Ye kobubu adwapade na be ye oka. E ma na be beto wo man so. Na wo no wo leadership na memwo na wo bae na wo bebu ye no. Na timamunu no udwe timamu ni ho sei. Hwe Waterstone Realty Limited, SU Ghana buying 120 million Ghana cedis. What the call dollars may 4.7 million US dollars because what Japadi is one story building. No. National Cathedral into Yabuagu. Into Waterstone SU or minor $120 million taxpayers' money. And your taxpayers' money 120 million. Ghana cities, I will say a table, edify one mine state coffers near the common water stone for because one of the assassin, one more assassin, you have property. I was so who may see what saw die was shoe any muntino. What best send a japadia to what send a japadia? Our value the property say 4.7 million US dollars. Clearly see Kafamano. Ghana ya kwaya na ase baye. Enti se when nyina sebe and penifo ya de ya wura hye wo mumuo. Ya yanya kokodwo wo mumuo mo nso me hwe me de ya bobra me medi o man ninya me mepa ehunyade we have the men ye de kase ye beso o man ne be wi akire no wo use se in the name of say me see asodan e de me Nyankopon ne be wi akire na se jebi asodan no akoda no koro no ba ye use asofo no mu bi no asofo no ma wo mo kwan na ye use o mo ne de abokoro no edu ba bi former Pentecost chairman Apostle Opokunyina. No other politician. 2024 yeti kroma running mate no opebi.
Ona wo kan na say.
Me na make can say.
Na so bia wa.
Ade na make.
So ona wo ka so opebi.
Ade yanti Ghana ha. Na ne ye ka Opokunyina pe running mate.
E dey say na artisan.
No wa dan no who politician and no more artisan bebrebe o ma no mo pe running mate no mo do so. Ade yanti kwa say chief of staff kra former chief of staff. Fremo prime no so pe running onya bi obedi. Atisem they say bebre.
I see.
Or Daniel politician, but idea ha dwene ne say Ghana for no mu free say so gullible ahwe. What dia opa Apostle Opokunyina. Ya ori na board of trustees ono ne dan no. Ma aban ni free say so prosecute no. Wo be hu de da Church of Pentecost members be ye wo krom ase. Omo betwa hia kra say asori man konko share 40 days fasting and prayers. Witch hunting. Now when you be for your hunting. JB, if you are not witch, when they be wasting the time say, "Obi a wan ya witch, ye kwani akwa hunting no." Hwe ka ma body ato o man so na ye sunsum taxes de aguti mamufuo so nuisance taxes na be wi achi na ebu akonta se yakose for properties etua judgment debt ni nyina achire no ene judges quarters ya hwe judge for na je bi ebubu am quarters ni gu ye afa ko rent apartment wala bon ye de ma wo mu
sir
o man ni tua dollars
e wala boni
laboni cantonment laboni ni na sa judges ni na jebi na judge no otene quarters mu na so akobu agu a ubu agu so onyi ne niam no pe ba bi e ma no nkonkotena
asemu
ya correct apartment taxpayers money ene ye enti sasofo no mu ama wo mo kwan ni politicians aka bomu a destroy wo man no anya junk economy o man na bose be nkwase akahwe ya debt to GDP agyebi ye kan no ko ye akoduru be say over 721 billion no National Cathedral nkan ho bi akan ho bi
yeah
junk economy enya no National Cathedral ho akontabu nkan ho bi akan ho bi enti sa wo you osofo na so wa ma ho kwan na ne politician aka bom ne madu omani nya ne madu omani awu a se mere no say ya prosecute wo mo hwe ne mo anya sabi nkwase de bi antiocho nipa so bo a Ghana ase because ade ba kwa hwe se MPP fo ya do man ya hye wo sa 8 years wasum wo man every year bia no finance minister call parliament allocating budget to various ministries, departments, agencies baby after 8 years be account for your deeds eduma we sika de ma won brane bebu ho contest can be from unsasia face wo man mra na wo sean we chanting na mo kwan na mo de na mo so no emre ye ni nka so se ne etie be mo be ko opposition de mo didi ye ne no ye ba ye bedi mu bi sebe nya nkwase asem wo ka we che ga na ni sebe nya nkwase asem what do a mine gina kano esum taxes de egu o mine so hwe natural resources a wo sum export de ko ni nyina chere nya junk economy adwuma na wo ye ni bebu ho akonta the audacity say wo be gina ho na be ka kire Ghana ni sai ade na NDC aban anase aban we kwan amode ye na mo so no ye ba ye bedi mu ye be ye mu bi se mo se ye wie sika apostle opoku nyina board of trustees wo ye chairman Sadia be kwa me suspect say Millennium City kura no so na spearhead ye kura e was here investigating no me ye Pentecost member me tua tax me bo for there me kosanda because who lead project be say na se ya bo am na donko na wa man na spending $97 million e wo ho a e ka kura so wa kire dia na je say Millennium City no so kura na wo na wo lead years sa da na ye chairman no kura no na je say no so kura bibi wo mu
I see.
I just a Pentecost for no kwano. An se Ghana ha se no, se project we na si wano mo dia. Ya na se ni pani hye de ni akire sa na ye hye se na ye say. But ade yi a apostle opoku nyina spearhead LED board of trustees or no ye chairman. E ka de ante se me suspect ne say Millennium City na si wano mo no kora no. Ene ma kom because asofo na anya wo mo ne ma se omo ya asofo. Se wo ya asofo a that word no so no mo ka ho no. Omo hu se sebe omo yusu omo do ma bokoro no. Omo hu se sebe omo yusu omo do omo de sebe nkwase asem. Elutu o mine eno omo twi omo firi mu. But as and when na ono bo ku je to black na say revelation bia bebe bia e dia fa national cathedral ho abien. Wo benya apostle opoku nyina no ma ba be defend. Ye ni kroma say ono bo ku je to black de ba e say omo tue sika bi e dia masofu ye ni di mi ensa ni di nan ya. Wo de asese contract. Kusi Boatin ye ni krom say e kwa na board of trustees e di statement ba ye e ba be justify be defend say obo ye obo oman no bosia afi na nwi ya no we say this am aba say obo oman no bosia no there's no documentation and character process bi no ma e dey say Kusi Boatin e bo national cathedral for bosia and one say 2.6 million say US dollars say no ye tabi taxpayers money JB Yentimi to us say I think say report na this dey ba out no ye here prosecution because Ghana for ya bre
report ya o ka ho asemi no asem dada na nkomo a ya di ho ya dia from day one ebesi sabrewi ye nyina aniwa asem se bra na do wini election wie no o ka kire se ansa na ye beto aba no one nyame edi nkobo e ka chense se o ma ne win elections na obesi asondan bia ma no enti no ye de na enim ba bi okogina di nkobo no na mum ade ana eye Ghana fo nyina concern ye se wa be president yi no eye oman no ni ba besi ana se oman sika no de ba besi edan no na do ma Ghana fo eni wiase nyina enya nte ye se eye ono ni nyame asem eye private adia oba be enya oman sika enya Ghana sika no de ba be sisa cathedral no now adia ba ko a ebeye strange eye wa abreko a cathedral no start ye cathedral be start se BBC no ba bia be site ofensen dan no se ho be ba be si dan no na ye babia na ye nyina ye nim say passport office ewo ye nyina ye nim say ayi ofrensen scholarship secretariat na ewo ho no ma na judges be 11 ehwa na be nso beti ye nim say Mali ambassador na ni resident ho na ewo ntina a big place about 15.73 acres asem ne ye kan.
Oh, okay.
What you say asase yantambe 15.73 acres no all the babesi asondan no enti ne yehu ya ye say back to judges ni ambassadors ni baba ya admu ho nyina afri ho a babubu saadan no nyina to agu enti eyade ba ko ana nwanwa say ade ana wo ka say enye oman esika no the babesi no ekoba ne sen ne oman ajapade any even private entities ajapade a ɛwɔ hɔ no wakɔdwiri ɛde ato agu enti deɛ di kan no na meba saa report yi so a report yi a ɛda hɔ yi no ɛyɛ report a ɛyɛ National Cathedral Secretariat na ankasa anaasɛ board no ɛne commission yɛ sɛ bɛnyɛ dɛ bɛnyɛ saa report no nti bɛ commission anaasɛ bɛ task Deloitte and Touche sɛ bɛnyɛ saa ayi audit no ɛmfa ma bɛ enti in the first place no adeɛ baako a mepɛ sɛ yɛn nyinaa ɛne Ghanafoɔ ɛte aseɛ sɛ saa report wei a abɛtɔ dwa no ɛnyɛ report a Ghana ban ɛne ɛyɛ dɛn ɛyɛ audit ɛde report aba dabi ɛyɛ private report a ɛyɛ National Cathedral Board nankasa ɛne yɛ dɛn commission Deloitte and Touche say bɛnyɛ audit ɛmfa ma bɛ now sɛ ɔhwɛ saa report yi a ɛda hɔ esiesie yi a menua me na wɔkasa meka kyerɛ wɔ sɛ deɛ di kan na adɔ kɛɛ sɛ ɛnyɛ ɔman sika na wɔde bɛyɛ dɛn wɔde bɛsi saa cathedral no enti no sɛ ɔhwɛ report yi a ɛda hɔ no na report no kyerɛ sɛ fundraising a bɛyɛɛyɛ woni sɛ na ado yɛ fundraising saa fundraising na bɛyɛɛyɛ no nyinaa no Christian community no raise 15 million Ghana cedis 15 million Ghana cedis ne Christian community raise wo ye no so fi ho a won say be de momo short code bi ebe to ho say amanfo betimi aden a contribute e bi a wo 1 cedi wo say ha contribute no report na che say saa momo no nko ano contribution abenya e 40 million Ghana cedis now saa 40 million Ghana cedis no now be 15 million Ghana cedis a say kire o say ene ne sika nka be de ba besi cathedral no enye saa because o le oman sika enka ho na ade ba ko a enwanwa na asefem say out of the 40 million Ghana cedis contribution a amanfo contribute no 10 million penny betimi account for 30 million no be hu ba bia afa na according to ayi offense board no be che say ebi mu wo honom a se be send sika ede kwa na ba nkasa ba se na withdraw anaduma na same way what you say say on no contribute say home just ebi 10 cedis na home fancy cathedral no menso media metimi aye no onipa no send you ya no no ase na withdraw sa sika no now
as a gari sika so sika gari
good no report na che say be find out say ja telcos no ye ne ba na te Ghana ha mpanimfo bele se oni akokɔ da ye mpani bi abre enti no saa nkrofo de ne ba na ha enti betimi a find out now findings no so che say companies no emu bia ni ho ene otimi confirm say eye nokre say afiama no sendi sika 1 cedi na owie no ono aye den esan withdraw
for the purpose of clarity my main way in free honomo now so total consultancy fee paid to architects according to Deloitte's report no we noted differences with regards to the amount paid to the architect, that is the design team, Sir David Adeye and Associates Limited, for mobilizing and designing the National Cathedral project from the confirmation response from the office of the president and that of Sir David Adeye and Associates. Now below is the confirmation from the president. Amount paid 113 million Ghana cedis, 113 million Ghana cedis. That is and a confirmation from David Adeye and Associates Limited, 117 million 972,656. The difference in the amount, 4,932,091. So this was the difference of amount from the presidency to David. Difference 4 million Ghana cedis. And then I say we say one the baby adia kosino. O kan ya start ya adwuma. One baby maybe all different you say. But they come ya ati ase say enya oman sika. Entina me pese nyina yehu. Sika contribution na ye na nasefo nyina sika na aka ye de kwa kosi cathedral.
What you say in the first place, me say na kwaya ti ase say cathedral na nkasa no krampo no. Beke say ebe sika ebe hia dia si cathedral ni nyina si ho awie bibia no. About $350 million. What you say? Ha. Me ene no sika contributions no so nyina no antimi ankoduru ba bia because in actual fact over 10 million na betimi account for. Any 15 million na Christian community no so raise here na $25 million, 25 million Ghana cedis. Yes sir.
Yeah.
Good. And 25 million Ghana cedis no, it's not even up to quarter of sika na be here. What you say? Now one na work expenses. Sal ina o kana eda honom. Mamencho contractors and consultants na nkasa na ye kasa no per the report no be the contractors and consultant ka 34 million.
I see.
And they I mean kasa ya $34 million. Consultants and contractors.
You be no mo ye do $34 million Ghana.
Say report no ba we be chese be de beka. Enya no nko ampo. Be Babu museum bi wom. Sababu museum na nkasa no but they can spend $4.3 million no betua edema ayi sa Nehemia group no wahu betua edema be wi no according to the report we is at $4.3 million dollars na betua no nyina chi na Nehemia group no Sanchez say Besande beka $155,000 US dollars.
155,000.
Apart from the Bachiano, apart from $4.3 million na Bachiano, Besande beka $155,000. What you say? And then the same Bible Museum na Nkasano, Besan so awarded the man another company and see from cubic mot B. Benon so bechesa be the beka $1.8 million.
Yeah.
So the same Bible Museum about spend the $4.3 million, no. Two different companies. Esan so chesa be the beka wu. Meanwhile, cathedral no cry and shall say easy. What you say? I am another daho. Amina any day edaho. Na ayi JB see ayi offense saying board na beseti no secretary.
Yeah.
HSA onu no etikumase. Aduma oye ewa Accra. Nti Accra ha no oba be ye na aduma. Enti aduma na oye no nti no se oba na onya babida. No okohan edan wo cantonment. No okohan dan wo cantonment no. Bosumi bia no $4,500.
$4,500.
Ghana cedis.
$4,500.
Yes, 4,500. Yes.
Maybe a kusibu ati crocodile no.
Yes, $4,500. Oda honum 5 months. And to calculate $4,500 no per month na 5 months $225,000. You see, Sikana Yabu was wrong. Nancy MPP for Caso, better buy an audit. Sikadia and Coso. Namla Hanaka says so. Be discussed. You can't don't offer no dear Renanu. Expenses.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Me to a dear we. And one will need the panel for the day. At the Sikano. And the mobile phone is a 2 cities. All I do Yakoyano, ABA 5 cities. What I say at the end of the day, no, or no, a big conibotum. And in here, you want your friend causing financial loss to the state in Ewa Hono. Say, wouldn't say I don't cry nebo as we say. No one casa, waka tono abwadi into my mind aboka, yet him out could jail or home. And to not necessarily say, eh, bia, yeah, caso, yeah, audit, no Yahoo discrepancies do a baby. Say, eh, bia, I don't know. Ole spend to send your boss no sika yetuadema architect and in your no so e kan nsa no there's a discrepancy between your betuaye and in your kan nsa entina chese e ho no that difference no you must come and account for.
Okay.
Enya no nko an chese nipa na diska
Mate.
What you say
the finding na me wi nko you ho
me de ba be end no woni say before bebe shase no before bebe shase be you cathedral na sakwa no. But the country and Moka.
Yes.
And so a report to me.
Yes, I know what Hanman Babeka.
Good. But you and Crophobia. Wabrako and Nipano, when you start here, but share in advance. At the Amano. Na best net and Kuan Nipa trepe, Senate and Kuanu. senator betua ma nipa tre nkwa no 500,000 Ghana cedis.
That is the 5 billion.
5 billion Ghana cedis. Nipa miensa senate. Bebe senate o. Nipa ba ku mienu miensa. 1 2 3 best senate nkwa amounted to 5 billion. You know, so I be more make analysis says so if say senate nkwa na se nipa no say ni orgy dia na just say ni pay na orgy na nkasa dia enye sika ketu o.
All right. Over to us but another one. So mobile money donations nearby the Munti from the report from 2021, 2022, 2023. Mobile money by any na 39 million 5,635. Now at the end of the day, almost mobile money na account monsa almost me the year Jumani Bibiano 710,941. Near almost more reverse here. I feel the more reverse here to me and reverse ni na ko see 39 million. 38 million 294,693. Congratulations.
Asemo.
Groom, I heard the sound man.
I'm commanding me who say afene asate.
Yes.
Yeah, didi ye na no. Afene asate. You see, when say na make say afene government cry say benye forensic audit. Enti no we say ye ba nkasa be auditor be ye.
Yes.
Ne abede abetodwa. Ye di ho enkomo yi. So here they na menua by kan wo ho. Na all kan about opoku nyina asem no. Na wo ka say na
wo chairman kan chairman apostle professor opoku nyina. Professor why?
Yeah, okay. Enti no you see asofo no ho ade ba ko a me mesre say ye nyina no ese obia di ni lemu. What you say?
Yeah.
Say o person or your politics there is nothing wrong with so person or your politics. Ye nyina ye ti ha si ye kwa asore. Obia anso ye ne oye.
Yes.
What you say? Na bom ade ba ko a say uhu say what do hu call for politician say what do hu call for politician no
asembeto
obey what are the fee?
Yeah.
What you say? Say ohwe ebi ti say nanadu amamuo na obebu yi a won say nei no National Cathedral ni aba na ye ka ho asem nanadu amamuo no ahu eye ti say obi epam ayi aboa praku na wo mom no wadi achi atechim wa sha atade fitaa na wati atechim akwachiri praku no na owura no kum wie no watwa ni dua ene de ama what you say ene no sa sika we abe no ye ka ho asem ebetimi aba say chairman opoku nyina kwa bia na woni bi nanso ye bebo odi aka ho
What na chairman?
One way chairman.
But or in-depth knowledge because you're a professor for that matter.
Nti say na make say e bia o na bia woni bi enso ye bebo odi aden aka ho hwe o kan 2 Corinthians chapter I think 6:14 or say do not be equally yoked with unbelievers. For what relationship everybody aden aka ho hwe o kan 2 Corinthians chapter do not be equally yoked righteous. For what one genie no entwi konua kro. What you say?
Brofona can the chino no.
Ni chino no.
Okay. Also,
do not be equally yoked with unbelievers.
Okay.
For what relationship has the righteous and the lawlessness, and for what communion has light and darkness? Or high any any chaka.
Okay.
What you say? Enti so your software. Jule muhe kusibu atin. Ansa na yebe to aba no. No nam Ghana ha mantamu nyina.
No ye.
Minim ba bia kra minim so okobunu. Okobunu east, okwa ahafo. Na oni me na oye. okona okofre asofo no bono de ofre be call regional residence ho
okobi
ofre asofo me ofre asofo se menye asofo
se ne na
ofre asofo na no onugbo mu insight asofo se bento abama NPP bento abama baomia owia na wa yi ska hye bensam wa che ska ne se wo che nkate
awudi wani hu
asofo yan be kan ba no be kan be boa me nso me boa
asofo na be kan
ba no be kan what you say enti no nyame me kan say untimu entrance emfa nyame som no enkata wanim na onye wo politics na we are no aba be ka che say touch not my anointed and yes. Do my prophet no harm.
Yes.
I say o pese o use assembly no e de intimidate amanfo saa bi ni ase bi mu ye no na da bia me kan say we say I said the recent Christopher no there assembly no ba di so mfa so pa o
adai
na say bi ni me kan
okay
na kan ya ka say software on politics ni hweye but then no or a software or a politician but time bia no hia na o pese o che say or a software no onye politics behind the scene onu nso ni ne oye adanti a wutimi di loan 2.6 million Ghana cedis ekoma national cathedral kusibu atia asem kan so okay so obo national cathedral no besia 2.6 million Ghana cedis na obo national cathedral besia 2.6 million Ghana cedis adan wa sorry man ba yi awi men ka say eye bone say okwa akobo besia na mbom ba beto offering no ma onya asa 2.6 million wo bisa ni pan say no no 2.6 million e wo ho ansa na obebo sa afode no wahu enti
tax tua ye be bo no de ama no
good what you say bet you see ni e be ye no okurom ha sei no emwa me ni e me pese enkoso ye say hwe da bia ebetena ha na ya aka sika afefa amanfo nsa ato ya ka ayi auditor general report beba na ya betena ha na ya akasa ahwe ensi ne be pese me ka kire president mama e say sansem we ya kan bia ene se o ka se obi adiska na se o ti radio so na TV so ka enye news biem ne amanfo pese be hu ye say sika na obi edi no wa refund anasa on refund he so we sa nipa miensa na beka se betwi abeka wa abreko na adwuma no start ya me te se nipa ba ko e ko refund miska out of star nipa 3 no be nipa ba ko according to the report no nipa ba ko de ono no e refund ne de enti no ene no ni apese ye hu ye se per report bia na e be ba se ye auditor general report eye charge for ne ayo auditor kwane ye ne auditor at the end of the day no ye hu say nipa no ye resika 2 cedis ene efa ne nsato ode aba wantumi amfa mba na ese jail no ese okwa ese okọ now the issue of equalization NPP ewo aban mu no be ma Ghana fo nyina chi ase say NDC for corrupt bediska ba chi ni personal si ba ese and NDC abapa men so me person me hu sa action no I'm not interested in so obi ko jail me nya hwe mfiri mu na bom se nipa na diska na se hu be hia say okọ jail na se eno no ye susudua edema amanfo a so okọ se ne be ya ochina bi no se o de adwuma bia bi a hwe obi nsa e organ ha ya onfa no se e ye oman sika what you say all my fans say your man sikanti no odibi no so waye den waja ho akọ he na anu mitie Raf na oka
Raf me
Raf ya on nam tam ha yi demonstration
yeah
no hole ayi guy former deputy ayi finance minister your friend say
muni he stika
eka kire ne say se na sika mom ne nanka ohia sika mom na nanka Raf ehia na se nka oba beho otwe benbe na be man bidi na demonstrations a oyeye ne nasofo no bia no na ehu ehia na sika ne bebe koso adi a Raf ne kan ye oboa me nso meboa
mate Facha me, but I'm ready to see. So the gospel according to Apostle Professor Kojo Nimdifo Opoku Oyina, the National Cathedral Assembly. Quick one. So the National Cathedral composition of the procurement committee was led by our chairman, Mr. Kingsley Ajiman. On I know the registrar, the scholarship secretariat. Now, other members, the most Reverend Awotwe Pratt, member of the board of trustees, and Reverend Victor Kusi Boatin, member, secretary, board of trustees. Mr. Tony Yabua Asari, or your architect and a construction management. And Kwame, Mr. Kwame Prempre, our deputy CEO, Edema, the public procurement agency, PPA. And Nana Poku Oforiata, or your businessman. And Becky Yapu, also your architect, construction management. And finally, Mr. Paul Opoku Mesa, CEO, Ghana, the National Cathedral Project. Omo and form the composition of the board, the procurement board.
I think that this whole thing, I catch us, is a criminal enterprise. Whoever that is involved is a potential criminal that must be properly investigated. Sikana year to around, there is one thing, Obiam also. Are you aware, sir, they pay 20,000 to bloggers to go and do their
bloggers?
Oh, monies were paid to bloggers to go and do their because the cathedral see now making sure say you go through proper line of way. Why would you have to pay journalists? I'm not surprised that some jokers are on TV trying to rubbish this whole thing. Say people should go and apologize because of some of these things, and it's very embarrassing because you see last time I catch us I said. You better a point to say Ghana for do na niti hunyansa and sorry bebrebe gu okroma because we've gotten to a point abaye avenue amanfo no mo family who say the people are very gullible. Let us capitalize on their gullibility and make money, and that's exactly what is happening. They're not over Sundays and so forth. They're just showing wealth, how many cars or properties are what to talk now here for not to mutie sanse gunu way time or the juma near sun line. From Monday to Sunday, you come. I say, I a date. You know, every day be a consultation,
counseling,
and for me, that is one of the things that a wiki, the productive, your friend is a name as a Ghana as a country because nipa desenia no ho yeden kwabrane abakwanda bati akese obeti be ya adwuma or the prayer comes by before you know. Now more dama or betting katingati before you also for so say. You see, these are some of the things I indoctrinate among for adwuma. Near man na ho dey say the year adwuma yenye. But me, I believe in your friend saying God, but I believe, sir, these institutions are supposed to be institutional, yet be teaching the part-time, building the moral fiber in Nipa Dasani. Sabaya Nipa will be good. Society now, you want able to me and get along properly. That is all that Christianity is about. But abaya magic, abaya miracle, that kind of way. That kind of nonsense. All these things, good Christianity, and that is my problem. You understand? And and people, if you go social media, these are some of the nonsense the young guys are also projecting. Oh, na so you say any MPP flag bearer we ever see. You see these jokers all over places, and I'm prophesying in Canada, Japan. You need to get away this nonsense. Politics, science, it has nothing to do with your friend saying, and I'm saying,
science and data.
And spirituality
is also part of it.
JB, don't entertain some of this nonsense because you see, it's the reason why I consistently digging people into baby and these people I know that they come to the screen and people see them as the Lord and they do some of these criminal things and they get away with it because at the end of the day, trigger the emotional buttons in the people. So instead of them say, we forgo. You'll be thinking about, oh, I'm a software, oh, I'm a and they commit crime under it. These guys are not a software, they are politicians. They are politicians pushing political agenda. And offices over here, playing at the emotions of the people. You see, Nyankopo would be finding the agro, and a baby about doing the Nippon war, mine, and don't need here, Hunyansa. So it is better we focus on our core responsibilities. Young children nipa hawa. You better live in a just society. We will be kind. We will be good. And that Bonnie, we are singing. I sorry them but this is an institution that is supposed to teach morality. asɔre no korɔ no bɛhyɛ ase ɛhɔ na efiri ba na ba ne sɛ na cathedral asɛm na yɛ kanyankopɔn asɔre dan ɛhɔ na ɛkɔbɔ korɔ no but look at all these things coming up you understand a child say we are lagging behind and the core things in us so this is the time a government will have to change all these things now you're making sure that Makasa Cathedral no we cannot just brush it aside because our church members do your touching your friends ambassador you're touching no this is the time for us to send a strong message to people out there say we also for near frost of our special Maya Dim. We need him dear man for Honko. Yanti Cromana so far cotton bank board, so I'm a bank and a boca to today. Represents him Diaben or banking man. There's absolutely nothing. Or one Casacho Quajabosia, na bank no good. Na iya dia Shabako for Cornet Nako to prison. Or what I said. Sanya man, we need to begin to spell out sanctions. Never a man for who said, I don't know we are. Consequence in me, so pass we are fine. And we also for we did not send them no preach here. Nobody will come to you. But we don't have politics over your politician. We will treat you as a politician.
Yeah.
It's the reason why people name here to amount for dingu high because they have accepted that they are politicians. And never we in their politics. And we a politician will be treated as a politician, not as a software. So it's not as if say obi this and software be an say obi solitary Christianity. No. So we are software, we treat you as a software. But we are politician. We will treat you as a politician. And these guys are not just behaving as just politicians. They are behaving like criminals. But how do you justify some of this expenditure?
But the court proves otherwise. We cannot see them as criminals.
No, they say politics. You know, the report that are coming are damning report. Yes, if for Sikana, in this idea with the Sikabaya, then for Sikan Koto camera, another Koto camera is a one deviation.
And that will be determined by
no, that will not be determined by JB.
To say we are talking no,
JB, we are talking about Mansika. We have priority areas. That wouldn't be for Chroma say. What are you talking about?
So the court hasn't pronounced them to be criminals.
They say these are criminal undertakings. So whoever get involved is a criminal because at the time no, we needed the money to do several other stuff. Ghana for here. Now ya decide Sikano ye name hunu. Sikana ayo mine Sikano. Unim say mrada ho. Sa wunti found some kobo mine Sikama bra parliament emo approval. That's why you do need a court to tell you say what from mra. These things you don't need the court approval. You understand?
All right.
So these are issues that Nanka Basan can strategy because you're prosecutor because or finding something illegal, something wrong. Court will only give legitimacy to whatever. So court will only give legitimacy to criminal channel, but the court will not pronounce you a criminal. So I think that these things, we cannot just flash them. Let us focus and make sure that whoever is involved, they will be prosecuted. Now you're sending loud message to people out there. We are software. You are sorry. So we are just over a politician. We treat you as a politician. You don't back now. Again, say, "Kusi what in say no deal or chroma." I said, "I mean, no see kind." The guys out there, professors in Yamia Yachirame, but Umia will come. Say, "Ama, someone should not sorry. This joker is still out there telling people." And I wonder why God is doing that. I think as such,
all right, so finally, the Lord's response to mobile money is say management has not provided any explanation for the failed or reverse transaction captured in the reports. The successful transaction have also not included in the trial balance for the respective years. Deloitte has not received any additional information, clarification regarding the above response from management as at the date signing of the audit report. Remember, there was just 1-2 minutes.
Maybe about AG report now, Bano. When you get the kind.
There, Auditor General report. Whether they said when you get the kind. About
Public Accounts Committee. Or more bet naso. I be those involved. You bet you answer their friend. By the end of the day, at the end of the Kwakusi. You bet you say they are charging for saying Umubenya. At the end of the year, says we are counter free even 2021. Eba pim 2024 report yabana. Share uni may bought just 2 now because you are medical. Share 2021 financial irregularities ya record ye. Our age report by 2021 17.4 billion Ghana cedis. 2022 15 billion Ghana cedis. Now 2023 8.7 billion. 2023 8.7 billion. We are 2024 irregularities age report 18.4 billion Ghana cedis. Was there about 9.6 billion increase over previous year? Yes. Adia was a President Mahamadou Trinity say, or Baba Yakwan. New ones no Baba no. obeye bewie na old ones na eye tired no na asay ontimi nyensi the Ghana for here accountability those involved no yam prosecute because ya bre Ghana ha.
The gospel according to Nana Ama Agyarko ya bre
we
be chu bia yencho